Hey everybody, and welcome to Robin's house. Today I'm working on the Framed Violets card workshop, and one of the cards we do in this is a floating card where there's a piece missing in the front. And I just wanted to show you how easy it is to do this because it's very impressive and it's a lot of fun too. So what you do is you start with your 8.5 by 11 cardstock. I used the thick cardstock because it's going to be used for a card base, and so that's perfectly appropriate. I've got my trimmer here with my cutting blade up here at the top and my scoring blade stashed down here at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my paper in the long way and I'm going to score it at 5.5. I just run it a couple times lightly. You don't want to cut it. And then I'm going to move my paper over to the 2-inch mark. And you can see the 2-inch mark kind of up here. So you kind of push it in the way, but you can also see it down here. And so you just adjust it a little bit till you hit the 2-inch mark. And then you're going to cut it. Cut, cut, cut. And then I'm going to move my paper over another 2 inches and I'm going to cut it again. This way, when I turn it to the 4.25 way, and I turn this one to the 4.25 way, I now have 2 card bases cut. So what you have now is one card base size sheet, and then you fold this one down, and then you take his friend here and you put him there. Now it's best to, on this colored cardstock, to put a base behind it. And you can decorate your base if you want to, or you could just leave it plain white, but it's nice to have a place to write that isn't so colored. And then you put your card pieces down, and then you have the piece that's going to keep your floating pieces together, right? So once you have it where you want it to be, you turn it over so that the back side is up. And then you can put your glue, and you know exactly where to put it because you can see it here on your thing. Or it's also a perfect time to put on your foam squares. And again, you can see right where they need to go because it's upside down and exactly the shape that it needs to be. So you can just line up your foam squares right where you need them and do it again on the bottom. And then when you take those foam squares off and you flip it over, everything is perfect. And you will have a floating transition between your floating card. So I hope that was helpful. And I hope you try this out because it's super easy and it looks great. Thank you so much for watching. Happy crafting.